next individual award is for Most Innovative Restaurateurs. With a huge round of applause announcing the winner, Japtej Singh Ahluwalia and Manoj Padmanabhan, Bond Restaurants and Nosh Private Limited. Mr. Japtej Singh Ahluwalia, an alumnus of the ITC Management Training Institute, has spent a decade rewriting the rules of the plate.
He's built multiple spaces with his own identity, his own energy, and spaces people keep coming back to. But that's not what I'm here to understand. I want to know what it takes to hold all of that at the same time, not just building it, but sustaining it, shaping it, and knowing when something feels off. Japtej Ahluwalia, tied to Bond Hospitality. Someone who understands brand, growth, design. The real question? What actually makes a place stick? Beyond the obvious. Hi Japtej, how are you?
Nice to see you,
Nice
Anna.
to see you.
Welcome
Thank
to
you.
Chennai. Welcome
Yes.
to Fufu.
Welcome to Fufu. Super
Welcome to
nice.
hot Chennai.
Yeah, as much hot as it is
Yeah.
in Bangalore.
Come.
What are we
So
doing
this
today?
This is my newest restaurant. It's called Fufu.
Yes.
Fu twice.
Yes, super cool.
It also so actually Fu means good luck in Mandarin.
Right.
We're saying double good luck to you.
Oh, awesome.
So Chennai, we unfortunately people like Bangalore who are used to getting a good beer
Yeah.
in any of the restaurants.
Yeah.
Chennai, unfortunately, we don't have that
Yes.
luxury.
Yes.
But we do focus a lot on
Yeah.
our zero ABV program,
Yeah.
which is to
This is
give you
very
really,
interesting.
really good drinks.
Okay.
So I want you to try one of our drinks, which is called the Red Lantern.
Okay.
So it will feel like beer, but it is not beer.
Okay,
Yeah?
excellent. So everyone's talking about what you've built, okay? What are you currently obsessed with?
So we've sort of built 8 restaurants in the last 1 year. So difficult for me to choose one particular brand out of them. But we are very proud of that each brand that we've built. We've been able to create an identity with that. So if you look at a brand that we sort of started 6 months back, it's called Double Dashi. It's a 20-seater ramen and gyoza bar. That we have in one of my restaurants.
Okay.
So that's for me. We were able to create an identity from that brand very quickly.
Okay.
Given it's a small space,
Okay.
we got popular very quickly in that. So that's a unique brand that we have sort of created.
And is that something which you would relate to most? Which brand would you relate to most as personally?
So for the longest time, because I've always lived in Chennai,
Yeah.
and I had a South Indian brand earlier, everybody would say that why don't you open a Punjabi restaurant? Like you're a Sikh and you're a Sardar, and how come there's no North Indian food that you're doing? So
Yeah.
so finally I bit that bullet,
Okay.
and we've opened this restaurant called Jolly Indian.
Yes.
Which we opened 5 months ago,
Okay.
and again, thank God, it's doing really well.
Right.
So Jolly Indian gives you the best of North and South.
Right.
I love South Indian food. I mean, I'm married to a Mallu,
Right.
so I love my South Indian food. But
Yeah.
obviously, I'm born and brought up in the northern part of the
Yes.
country. So that restaurant brings you the best of North and South together. So we're not calling it fine dining, but we call it fun dining because it is Jolly Indian, and Indians are jolly by nature. So the whole atmosphere and the mood inside the restaurant is fun. So
Super nice.
so that's something that we're really proud of.
Okay.
For me, I feel that a trait that you have to have in hospitality as a professional is you should get happiness by making others happy, and hospitality is all about that. I think, and one of the things that in the company Beyond Ordinary Restaurants that we are running now, we tell everybody that we are a feel good company. We're not a food company. We are a feel good company. So we have to make sure that a guest who's walking in feels better than the time he walked in when he goes out.
But then it is a fine line between good and trending.
Yeah.
What's that line for you?
See again, the 2 years or 4 years back, thick shakes were a trend. Like everybody wanted like really thick shakes. But then when you see 1,000 calories in one shake, you realize that it is taking a toll on your health. So that's a trend that maybe Instagram sort of brought about.
Right.
So we don't want to get on those bandwagons.
Right.
So Suddenly, if there is thick shake, which is running, I will not create a thick shake brand.
Okay.
So that is something that you have to distinguish. But like I said, we are serving really good matcha in our cafe brand
Right.
called Sorted because
Right.
we feel it's a good drink. Just that the hype around it is crazy. It's crazy, but it is a good drink.
And you're riding the wave with the hype, I'm
We're riding the
presuming.
wave along
Yes.
with the hype.
Super
Yes,
nice.
yes.
So cool.
Yeah.
I think that.
The drink is ready.
Yes.
Yeah, super, awesome.
All right, cheers to you.
Cheers, cheers,
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
When it comes to people, how much is our now spaces for you driven by people, or is it driven by data?
So, because my entire professional life pretty much has been in Chennai, I understand this market fairly
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So there are 3-4 zones that perhaps if you're trying out a new brand that you would want to try out a new brand in,
Yeah.
and this space is one of those areas in the city.
Okay.
We in this locality of 60018, which is this pin code,
Yeah.
we have 6 restaurants. So we know what works here.
Yeah.
So of course it pays up because at the end of the day it has to make financial business sense.
Yeah, of course.
So we do that research and according to the geography of the area,
Yeah.
we open that space.
Is it super data driven because now you know the place, or do you still rely sometimes on instinct?
A mix of both. So
Okay.
you do obviously get a lot of data, especially from the aggregators, in terms of what cuisine is working from a
Yeah.
delivery point as well as from a dining point, because
Yeah.
they pretty much control the entire ecosystem
Yeah.
of food and beverage.
Yeah.
So we do get a lot of data,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, you have to have that instinct and that gut feeling
Yeah.
that this spot will do well.
So many spaces you have now. Do you design this for different people, or for same people with different needs?
Yeah. No. So spaces are for different people. So the other brand that I was earlier talking about, Double Dashi.
Yeah.
If you walk in,
Yeah.
that's a brand for, let's say, 22, 23-year-old. It's got this feature wall of anime and manga, comic books and posters all around. So it instantly connects to that audience.
Okay.
So each space has its own audience, but we want to keep all the people within our ecosystem. So if you have 1,000 rupees to spend
You go.
600 rupees with me in my multiple restaurants. Yeah.
At this stage, what feels heavier, growth or expectation?
Growth is something which is in our hands, so we can slow down or we can move as fast as we could. Luckily, we run a profitable business, so growth is completely in our hands. I think expectations, obviously, because no matter how much effort you put, you can't satisfy everybody. That's a given. That's the nature of the business that we are in. But it does sometimes you feel bad about putting in a lot of effort and something not working out. Again, the business of food and beverage is very different from the passion of food and beverage. I feel a lot of people are passionate about of F&B, but that necessarily does not mean good business. So we kind of try to balance that out and manage expectations internally as well as externally, because
And in that case, do you still look for validation, or you think you've passed that?
no, I
now?
think we get the pulse whether this decision has worked or it's not worked. Sometimes you have to take harsh decisions, but eventually, if your goal is correct, is right, sometimes those are things that you have to do in business.
And what's the hardest thing to let go?
The hardest thing to let go. Sometimes you get so comfortable with certain team members, if then they do want to jump ship, or if they do let's say get a better opportunity, you that makes it really hard, because you've got that comfort, you become a little comfortable with them. So that is obviously something that I personally feel a little difficult to let go of.
And what kind of people do you think thrive in your space?
Anyone who can, like I said, make you feel good about what you're doing. They have to like what they do. You can make mistakes, that's okay. But you have to like your job, you have to like your work.
Has the idea of success changed for you over these years?
Success is not just from a financial point. If you're proud of something that you've built, and even if though financially it might not have worked out exactly how you planned it initially, you still feel happy. So I don't beat myself up if something has not worked out.
Okay, if someone was to remove you completely, from what is here. And God bless you've done it once. What would survive and what wouldn't?
I would like to think the entire business would survive. I am certainly not the most important person in this company. There are, of course, you have to be the guiding force and sort of make sure that you're steering the ship. But it takes a village to run a restaurant and to run a hospitality company. So everybody has their own part to play.
What holds steady between all this chaos?
Family for sure, because it is a 24/7 sort of a work. You're never really switched off, so it helps if your better half understands that, and you're able to maintain that balance, that you're able to spend time with family as well
Yeah.
as when you're building a new company, that trade-off of that lesser number of time with family is sort of understood. So family, of course, plays a huge part in making sure that I can do this properly.
Yeah. Hello. Such a pleasure.
Absolutely. Thank you, Vahana.
Thanks.
Pleasure.
When you're building one space, you can control everything. What really matters is what stays consistent beneath it all. The decisions, the instinct, the way you read a moment, and that's what I'm really starting to understand. Today felt a little closer to that. This was Curated Chaos with Japtej Ahluwalia.